traffic stop as if they could get killed.
Yeah.
And we had, okay, but wait a minute, let me take that one step farther. Then we had another police chief get up, or a sheriff or something, I don't remember what he was, and he said, very derogatorily, by the way, he said, if they're not training their police officers to approach every car as if they could die, they're making a big mistake in their training.
He
said they should already be doing that.
That's probably true these days. That's probably definitely true. Brian, you have a question for Suzanna.
Yes, I do. I have friends in Texas. That means nothing to you, but in the meantime, at the age of 8 on the farm, I live in Alberta, in Canada, and from the age of 8 to 10, my father and my uncle took me out on the property and taught me not only how to shoot a gun, a .22, but also the safety of over fences, how to carry it when you're walking, the ammunition, how you load it, what it does. You're right about the milk can and the pumpkins or watermelons or whatever. But one, as a young person, does learn what this thing can do. It's dangerous.
Well, there's a lot of people in Canada, though, who do get to, Suzanna, like we have rifles. You can have a .22 rifle. There's a lot of young guys, mostly young guys, who, have shot guns here. But what we're mostly talking about is the concealed weapons or the ability to have pistols, right, which we don't have.
Right, I got you.
And I guess you can buy them because some of the gun clubs must allow it. Corey.
Yeah, Leslie.
Yeah.
I'm a new pistol owner. I own a restricted firearm.
Yeah.
I just purchased it this year.
Yeah.
And it is completely legal. As long as you go through the RCMP course, your license, you pass your test, and you follow the rules.
But you have to leave it at the club, right? Or you have a carry permit, too, that goes from the club back to your house?
Correct.
Yeah.
You need to get what's called an authorization of transport. That's for a legal firearm in Canada. Of course, none of the criminals ever do that. They just go out, get their pistols. They don't follow any of the rules. But in Canada, you absolutely can, as long as you don't follow the rules.
Yeah, but Corey, yours is only usable at a club, right?
Correct. Yeah. It's got to be a certified pistol range or gun club.
Yeah, and you can't use it, you can't be carrying it, you can't anything.
No, not at all. Not in Canada. But why we don't have that right? I guess I don't understand that. What the fear is in Canada.
Well, I can tell you why. I mean, it's clear. All you have to do is ask your legislators up there. I mean, obviously, people in Canada are somehow inherently more ignorant or more violent than the people in the United States. That's why you don't get carried. I'm being very facetious here, but in all seriousness, it's something that you should ask your elected officials, because if we actually see a decrease in violent crime where we allow concealed carry here,
yeah,
then what's to say that you wouldn't?
Now, has crime throughout the United States, Suzanna, has it dropped? Because that's going to be one of the other things, right? Because we always say, well, if you can have a gun, your crime will drop. And we go, well, in Texas, they have the death penalty, and I don't see murders dropping there. You still have people killing people.
But, yes, violent crime in every state, to my knowledge, every single state that we pass concealed carry. Violent crime, and again, I want to specify that's crime of person on person, like rapes and murders and that sort of thing, have dropped significantly. Now, interestingly, in a couple of the states, Texas included, the crimes of property crimes actually increased slightly.
Why?
And well, the thinking, when they go and they interview these people when they're behind bars, the thinking is that, well, they turned away. It used to be easier to rob somebody, and now it's like, well, crud, somebody can shoot me now. So instead, they go break into a car. They go break into a building, or that sort of thing.
And you never, Suzanna, worry when you're out somewhere that all of you guys are carrying guns? Is it really, like, how many people would be carrying guns?
Statistically, at any given time in a group of adults, it's 1% to 2%.
So really, the whole idea of the oomph behind the you're allowed to carry a concealed weapon is you're just not sure who doesn't.
It's a wonderful deterrent effect. So see, when you come down and you go with me to a local cafeteria, There might be somebody in there that's not going to pull out their gun because they think somebody in that room is armed. They don't know who, but they think somebody is likely to be armed. They're going to go someplace else where people are not allowed to defend themselves.
Wow.
And unfortunately, we still have quite a few of those places.
Yeah.
But, stop and think seriously about all these places where there have been mass shootings. We can listen. There have been several schools. There have been a few universities. There have been post offices, which you're not allowed to carry there. There have been restaurants where you weren't allowed to carry. There was a Jewish daycare center. There was an Amish school. There was a Xerox factory in Hawaii that had a big no guns sign on the front door. The list goes on and on. And without exception, they've been places where people are not allowed to protect themselves.
That certainly sums that up, doesn't it?
To me it does. To me it's fairly black and white. And again, it's not a guarantee. If somebody is intent on, God forbid, killing you or me, they could do it. But are they going to rack up a 30 body bag count? No.
Yeah, no. Suzanna Hupp is my guest. Suzanna, I'll get you to hold for just a moment if I could. We're so out of time with this. I know College Boy will be in as we find out what's coming up with sports at the top of the hour, and there's a lot happening in sports. Of course, we don't know what's happening in Saskatchewan with Mr. Tillman. What happened with the Baseball Hall of Fame. And, well, we have hockey tomorrow night, so we'll come back in a moment with College Boy. You're listening to Primeau on 630 CHED.
You're listening to the Leslie Primeau Show on 630 CHED.
Alrighty, College Boy says, do you think I should get a gun?
Well, you're talking guns tonight, eh?
Yeah.
You saw the NBA suspended Gilbert Arenas today indefinitely.
Why?
At a practice facility last week. He got into an argument with only in the NBA, incidentally. Yeah. Only in the NBA. In a practice facility, in an argument with a teammate, pulls a gun out of his locker.
Nice.
Yep. That's great, hey?
Yeah.
See, that's when you can't really imagine. Oh. See, I'm around the Oilers every day. I can't really imagine Steve Stais and Sean
pulling
Horkoff
a gun, right?
Getting into an argument and then having Horkoff reach into his locker and grab a handgun.
I know.
That just wouldn't...
It's odd for us, right, in this country to think about guns. It's just, and I don't ever want to be in a society where we think that we all can carry.
But you know what?
But I don't know.
I spent a fair bit of time south of the border, and it's routine. You get used to it. You truly do. You go into the Fry's, which is their big supermarket chain down there. You go into the Fry's, and you're at the deli counter waiting to order your whatever, and the guy in front of you has a big handgun strapped to him.
God, I think
that's just. I mean, that's just. You get used to it.
I guess, right?
I'll tell you what, though, I drive differently down there.
Yeah.
Knowing that a ton of people have guns on them, I drive differently down there. Like up here, I don't have I don't think I've ever honked at a person, let alone given them a gesture. Up here, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Which is maybe an indictment on my character while driving.
Yeah,
but down there, now I don't care. You cut me off in traffic. All right, go ahead, sir. Yeah, go ahead, sure. Because you don't want to do it to the wrong person.
So maybe Susanna's right? It is the great equalizer, right? You're just not sure. It's certainly not a topic that's going to go away too soon, but we should say what's coming up tonight. There was a lot of things that happened today, sports-wise, that sort of you're going to be talking about.
Yeah, I just want to say first, and we'll get into the Oilers tonight, Eric Tillman has still not been fired by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And truly, I don't understand this. The justice system is one thing where a guy can go in and plead guilty to sexual assault and get an absolute discharge. That's one thing. And my mind is blown by that. Now, when you understand the facts of the case, relative to a rape, this is more insignificant. But still significant. And in a situation like this, Eric Tillman's a great guy. He's an upstanding character. It's the only blemish on his record, on and on and on. There has to be some follow-through to protect a potential victim number 2, which there is none of here. He pleads guilty to sexually assaulting a 16-year-old, and that's just it. In the eyes of the court, that's just it. No criminal record, no nothing. So, heaven forbid there's ever a victim number 2. If there is, you look back at this case and go, holy man, did we ever fail. And Eric Tillman is on the steps of the courthouse crying, telling a story about how his wife was in Winnipeg for a game, and she was heckled by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers fans. And he was saying she doesn't deserve that, putting the blame on the Bombers fans for doing it. The Bombers fans that heckled her are classless, and they're jerks. But the reason that she's tagged with the nickname that they were calling her might be the guy that sexually assaulted the 16-year-old babysitter. So I think it's Bombers fans' fault. So for Eric Tillman to stand there on the, he's starting to really bug me, and the Riders are really bugging me that they haven't fired this guy yet. He deserves a second chance at some point. Not right now. You can't keep your job. If somebody else wants to hire him in a year, fine. I believe in second chances. You can't have this guy keep his job.
Ooh, College Boy's going to be in all kinds of trouble tonight.
Tom Rennie is on the show. Bob Stauffer, Scott Housen, the GM of the Columbus Blue Jackets, and Pierre Maguire, fresh off the World Juniors last night. Loaded show.
Loaded indeed. College Boy's on his way in, and I'm on my way out. Have yourself a great evening. Do take care.